Hello there, Aries. My name's Frankie, and I'm coming to you from spirits-healing-readings.com. And this reading is going to be for May of 2016. And what I've done here for the month is I've drawn 4 cards, and I'm going to use the bottom card on the deck for your overall view for the month. And I don't believe that these cards are going to go in a week by week manner. That hasn't quite worked out that way for me so far, and this is my 4th time doing the videos. They're probably going to blend for you throughout the month. And at the end of the reading, I'll draw a Doreen Virtue card for you to bring everything together. But I have to say, I looked this up for you. I'm not an astrologer. And Aries, this is going to be the whole month, is going to be in your 2nd house. And that has to do with monetary assets, money. So looking at these cards down here, Aries, you might have a really good month that has to do with like economic advancement, how you can add to your income, money coming into you for the whole month. It looks like you're really doing good here. I keep thinking and hearing the word freedom, like money's coming in. So if there's we have one card here that, don't get dramatic or because it's upside down anyhow, but I believe we're going to have to change something. And I'm a clairvoyant, clairaudient medium, and I am an empath. So during this reading, when you hear me say I will mean you, Aries. It's just a speech pattern. It's the way I talk. But the word freedom keeps coming up, and to me, that's kind of pretty exciting. Your card on the bottom of the deck for the overall view for the month, and I hope you can see these because I had to move into my dining room for today, and it's the Empress, and she's right side up. So obviously any of you out there that even have a partial clue about the Empress, that means birth. And that word has came to me twice, and not with this card only. So any of you that are out there that are trying to get pregnant, maybe that's your new monetary or your new gain. And if you don't want to get pregnant, I'd start really looking at that. But what this means to me really, and this is a general reading, so as an overall view and looking at these other cards, I believe that there's an influx of money or some type of advancement that I'm going to have for the month with this Empress as the overall for everything. I don't think this has to do with really buying and selling a home, but it has to do with wise investments that I've made or something along those lines, like a rebirth or a push, if you can say it like that, to better my financial future or income or influx of money. You know, maybe it's a new job, maybe it could be, gosh, just about anything, because this is a general reading. And the first card that I drew for throughout the month is the 3 of Wands. And can you see that there? Yep, I guess you can. Pretty good, and it's right side up. And if you'll notice this guy here, or I think it's a guy, he's standing here and he's looking out over the ocean. You can see down in the corner that there's a couple little ships there. And I can never tell whether they're going out or they're coming in, but I believe that this man is looking out over his world for the month, and he's thinking seriously, or she, however, I'm thinking seriously about how can I enhance my financial future, or if, because of the Empress card here, if there is big influx of cash coming into my hands, or deal that I've made, because if the ships are coming in, you would think merchant, so deal, something that I've made that's going to make me a better situation financially. Now, I believe, because of the second card here that's coming up, it's the Tower card. So don't panic or anything, but I still think of this as some kind of disruption. And it's usually where everything breaks down in order to have a new way of being. But in this reading, this card is coming in reverse. So you would think, well, things aren't breaking down. But I'm not thinking that, because this is an education process with these funds, or the new birth that's coming in. If you think, oh, this is my first child, or I'm having a baby, or whatever, it's really educational. What this card is telling me this month is there is something about my actual identity that I need to change in order to put everything in my life, monetarily wise, in a harmonious flow. So there's something about, let's say, where I stand within my family, or my identity itself. Everything I want to do this month, I want to handle in a really calm, controlled, mature manner, because I believe that any kind of difficulties that may come this month, it's just a short little delay in the circumstances that I'm bringing forth, which actually feels real strong to me about money, even though the Empress can be birth, but it does feel very strong about money, and it feels real joyful, and it's like, an open door to me for a new adventure. But I need to change, because of this Tower card and the way it feels within the reading, there's something about my identity that I've got to handle, or a belief system that is coming into play that I really want to change and handle in a mature manner. So if I'm thinking about, whoops, I'm having a baby, I got to grow up, But if I'm thinking about funds, financial, I've got to grow up. How am I going to handle this to the best of my ability? Where am I going to invest it? And, how do I keep atmospheres around partnerships, families, friendships, things like that? How do I keep them calm and keep myself at that mature level, Because these other cards are really good, You don't want to get upset or depressed about anything that might bring a short delay, with this financial change that I'm going through. I really want to handle this real calmly and to the best of my ability. And the next one is the Two of Cups here. And that, so, if I'm getting all this influx of funds right now, Aries, I don't think I want to let my partner spend it all up at one time or give it away. I want to plan this very seriously. Two of Cups is usually a really good partnership. And this can mean a marriage partnership, but it can mean a friendship partnership or a business partnership, something along those lines. But in the context of the entirety of these cards here, I really think it's financial, So I want to approach everyone in an optimistic manner. And if I've been upset or depressed, or there's something that I want to change, inside of me, my actual identity or a belief system that I've had for years, let's say maybe, well, I don't know how to handle this money, or if I've I'm going into this job, but I don't know how to invest it. Well, education process, pick up the phone, call the right people, partner with the right people to make this an excellent choice, because this last card here that we have is the Nine of Pentacles. And when I see that card, I think, woo, money, bucks flowing. And pretty basically, the way these cards are coming, it's like, the money is coming in, or it is in to me. And if I handled last month, appropriately, let's say, because there's a circumstance with this Empress card that I kind of know about, so obviously if I was pregnant, I would know I was pregnant. Obviously, if there's something else going on in my life that has to do with finances, I would know there's something else going on with my life that has to do with finances. And if I handled it right last month, or I prepared for it, even if I were to win the lottery or get one gigantic inheritance at one time, I would have prepared myself for how I would handle all this in a mature way. Now, obviously, if I'm handling these things, right, in a mature way, I would think, how do I invest it? What will I do with it? And maybe I was just thinking, well, maybe I don't want to go out and party it all up. Maybe I want to save some of it for my future and do it wisely into the things that are important to me. Now that comes up because of this Tower card in reverse. I'm talking about the things that are important to me. So is there a basic identity, or a portion of my belief system or my value system that maybe I've had since I was a child or something that it needs to be changed, because I feel I can handle things differently at this time of my life, and that makes no difference whether you're 75 or 17. It's really coming up strong around the whole entire deal. So I'm not going to, if I'm 21 or 17, I'm not going to go party off this money, or my strike or my investment. I'm going to change the way I think about the funds, the finances, the monies that are coming into me, and I'm going to keep everything around me calm and mature. And like I said, it doesn't make any difference if I'm 17 or 75. What makes the difference in this whole reading is how I'm going to handle it. So I would be wrong to make a rash money choice, or to spend foolishly or not wisely when this is coming into my hands. And like I said, this partnership card here, so don't let your husband or wife spend too much money, or your boyfriend or girlfriend spend too much money. This seems to be real important, because I feel as if this is going to set a tone for me for the years to come and the time to come. Perhaps it's just this year, but it feels real important, with this Tower card in reverse. Like we know, Tower can be everything crumbling or falling, but it can also be, when it's in reverse, things being removed or taken from us so that we can have a really big change or really big opportunity in our lives. All of it is, the way they're saying it to me is, it's an adventure and it brings joy in some manner. So if something was disruptive that brought this into my path, at this time. I want to change how I feel about it because, let's say, it was upsetting or it was sad or something like that. It still brought goodness along with it. It still brought this Nine of Pentacles along with it. So it's done its job and it's done it really well. And all of that has to do with me remaining calm, centered, and right. Because this is good for my economic balance, however it comes. So if it's a brand new baby, as far as I'm concerned, babies are kind of cool, although I don't think I want to change diapers at this stage of the game, but that changes financial circumstances. So if I'm doing, the new baby needs this, this, and this, maybe I want to think if it's going to affect my finances, right? Maybe I want to stop and think about that for a moment and perhaps go buy the used crib, and hopefully all the relatives will buy me all the new stuff that goes with the baby. Just wise choices that have to do around money, that have to do around birth, not only of children, but of new ideas and keeping a calm sense of purpose around this new financial flow or the new partnership, however this is coming, because like I said, this is a general reading. And what I would do if I were you is, if you know your moon or your rising sign, I would go look at those also and put all three of these readings together to make it clearer to me for this time, Aries, okay? And let me pull their Doreen Virtue, let me see, daily guidance cards here, and I'm going to put this together with it to see how this is working out or where you're coming from for the month. And I don't know, when I put these cards down and while I was shuffling, I was thinking, this is just excellent month. Now and some people say that April is the beginning of the new year because Aries is April. And if you think about it like that, if I handled whatever disruptions or change of attitudes in April, now comes May, and I'm going to see the benefit, the blossoming of that, and the return of that, to come into my life for now. Let's see what the angel cards have to say, and we'll hope they don't mess with me this month. Let's see here. Pull one out here, and I'll read it to you out of the book too, because sometimes when you pull the same card over and over, it seems like it has different meanings for different people. Oh, this card, it says it's called A Time to Go. Can you see it? Kind of reminds me of the Knight of Swords, someone just charging off, into the future. But it says the sun sets and rises each day, and it's the same with the avenues of your life. See the beauty within each sunset in your life, and know that the sun will also rise again tomorrow. Endings are merely the start of a new beginning, and we are with you through each phase and each cycle. And this Empress is the new beginning. This 9 is the ending of some type of worries and the readying for the start of everything. Towers upside down. If I want to change something about a basic identity, I can change a belief about myself anytime that I want. Me, Frankie, I always think the only thing it's unchangeable for me is a knowing that there is something that works through me and with me, and that is what I know. But a belief I can change any moment, any time that I want. And, with these ships, I'd be wanting to bring them forward because of that freedom and the excitement that it will bring, and in a mature, calm, rational way. Makes sense, mostly, you would think. Let's look up what your time to go card has here and see if it has a little bit more information for you in here. At first I didn't even know there was a book that went with the angel cards, but it is. And it says, and there is, I said that wrong. The angels bring you this card to help you admit to yourself that it's time to leave. That strikes me as that time to change too. If it's time for me to change a belief system or something, an identity that I've held for years and years, whether it's a deep held belief that I've had since childhood that I have to change, or a way I have to be, or changing from not being a mother to being a mother. There's something here that has to change, and it feels strongly around monetary things. Sometimes that could be a divorce or a settlement from a divorce if it was an ending. You'll have to put that together for your own self, Aries. It says you already know the situation they're referring to. Well, yep. You've hesitated leaving because of loyalties or fears, yet the angels assure you that it's the best way. Work very closely with your angels during this transition to ensure its harmony for everyone concerned. Surrender any guilt or other negative emotions to heaven, as your energy needs to stay high right now. Remember what they said about calm, mature attitude. And there's additional meanings to this card. Completion and the end of a cycle are at hand. So if it was something limiting you, a belief that you had, end it. It will make it so much easier to change it. The purpose has been served in a relationship or a situation. Surrender it and release it. And it says call on Archangel Azrael for help with grieving, and Archangel Michael to help with courage. Sometimes belief systems are so very difficult for us to change. And if this is one around money, or if it's one around a birth of a new partnership or a birth of a new child, attitudes will need to be adjusted. But all in all, Aries, I have to say, this is probably, no matter how it looks on the outside right now, it's a month of freedom, and it's a month that brings joy and adventure. And every time I have to, and I mean me, every time I have to change a belief system, I gotta tell you, there's usually hell to pay because it takes forever. But this is Frankie, and I'm coming to you from spirits-healing-readings.com. You can go over to the website if you just want to know more about me, or you'd like to set an appointment to see me. Just go over to the website, and you can do it through there. All my info's there, and there's information, I believe it's at the bottom. I'm on a computer right now, and I'm usually on my Kindle. But if you want to know more about me or make an appointment, just contact me there. I really, really appreciate and enjoy all the time that you take to spend with me, and all of your likes and shares and subscribes. I honestly read every comment, and I'm so sorry it's taken me quite a while to catch up with writing y'all back. But I really appreciate it, and I appreciate the support and the kindness I really can't tell you how much it meant, because this is only my 4th month of doing this, even though I've been doing readings for 27 years. But I will see you again come June. Bye-bye, Aries.